Matt from Athens, GA, he said, I want to start going to more games in person. What's the best venue and atmosphere to check out in college football? This is not an exhaustive list, Matt, but I have gathered several of my personal favorites. I love the Cotton Bowl for OU Texas so much that when I was in Dallas last week, I drove over there when it was empty. That's how much I love that place. Fair's not going on. It's just over there. It just sits there all year. I don't even know what else they do there. But it's an amazing place. It's dilapidated. It's decrepit. It's infested with locusts. Everything you could possibly love. Very few luxury suites. It's great. Pee in a trough instead of a urinal. Wonderful. And it's split right down the middle. And then if you're so lucky as to have a credential to this event, you can do like I'm doing in this footage right here and watch the first half and then take your happy little self up the ramp, go buy some tickets, get you a funnel cake, and go play carnival games over at the Texas State Fair during halftime. Win a chicken, still got that thing in my closet, and polish off the funnel cake, and there's the powdered sugar on the glistening black shirt, and then head right back down the tunnel as the third quarter kicks off. That really happened. That's one of my favorite memories in the history of our many tours that we've taken. So go to the Cotton Bowl for OU Texas. LSU, everything they've said about LSU is true. I've gone down there to confirm it. Go down there when they play Bama, or if they get like Texas in there, they play them at night. Any big conference game at night. Like that Ole Miss game last year, I wasn't there for it. That Ole Miss LSU game happened on the same day as Ohio State, Oregon, and Penn State, USC. They were all classics. I think it was October 12th or something like that. But yeah, LSU at night, just insane. Unbelievable. Now I'm going to throw one at you that doesn't get a lot of run nationally, only because most people haven't been there. Husky Stadium in Washington. Growing up in Georgia, I would hear, Brock Heward talk about this place every now and then, and I would think, yeah, okay, he says that because he has to. We went up there 2 years ago for the Oregon game. It was amazing. The scenery, the noise, the visual, like it's a sensory overload. It's an amazing place to go see a game. It's in Seattle. You can get in and out pretty easily. Look at that. Like, that's what it looks like. This is not AI that Colin is using here. That's not a screensaver. That's real life. They are extremely passionate up there, and it doesn't look like it's a big deal. If you're from the Big Ten or the SEC and you go to these 100+ thousand seat venues, you look at a full open end zone and you think, how loud could it be? It was the loudest game that we went to that year. And I went to all those places in the South that year. So that right there on that Saturday against Oregon was like being on a runway at SeaTac, which is the airport up there. Hey, quick timeout. Check and see if you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not, make sure you do. It's free. It doesn't obligate you or sign you up for anything. It just helps us keep the channel free. All right, back to the show. The rivalry games, Matt, if you've not been to the Iron Bowl, especially going to Jordan-Hare Stadium when Alabama's there. Jordan-Hare Stadium, an incredible venue. You go there for, Georgia coming in there, but go there for the Iron Bowl. Go to Michigan. I went up to Michigan 4 years ago now when they first beat Ohio State, and then went up there again 2 years later when they beat them again. And those two places, but either of the stadiums when those rivalry games are happening, you will forget all about playoff implications or national championships. It's just you're watching a historic rivalry that's been played for longer than you've been around. Those people's years have revolved around those 3.5 hours on that Saturday. Everything else doesn't exist. It's so great. Everybody's attitude is just like, we're willing to go over a cliff emotionally to get this win. My favorite place to go in all of college football is Notre Dame Stadium. I've spoken about this before. Every one of these places is great. This is going to a movie set. They're just happening to play a football game there. Really is the scene of a movie, but it is for everything you love about college football. If you want to see it all packaged up and delivered perfectly in one place, it's a Notre Dame home game. Granted, I've been there for their biggest games, so I've been there perfect weather conditions. I've been there for the Georgia game and the Ohio State game a couple of years ago. I have never felt like I was in a fake setting that was real. And that's a compliment, not a slight. more than at Notre Dame. You just look around during the day and you say, I can't believe this is real. Counterpoint, or side note, I can't believe I grew up in Harris County, Georgia, and I'm here. That's also something I would have myself saying. But I've got Notre Dame as my favorite, actually, of all the home campus venues to go to. That's my favorite. Don't tell them that, but that's my favorite. Penn State, of course. South Carolina, most underrated venue in college football. Neyland Stadium. I mean, we've been there the last 2 times they played Bama. They stormed the field both times. And Neyland Stadium was everything it is again. When I was a kid growing up, they were on the cover of the video game. They were on the video game commercial, I remember, growing up. And then they sucked for a long time, so no one cared about Neyland because the team didn't matter. And now they're back, and Neyland's back is great. The Swamp, same thing. Was down there for an Auburn game several years ago. They beat Auburn, and it's an unbelievable venue. There are a lot of them. Those are just some that come to mind for me.